Alicia G, owner of the AG Army Agency, family owner too of the AG Army. Let's go. Boom, boom, baby, let's go. www.AliciaGWorld.com. Thanks to all social media, merchandise, music, and more. Guys, smash that subscribe button. Smash that subscribe button here on my YouTube channel and all my social media. All Alicia G World. Always look for the blue check mark. For everyone the first time. But guys, it's time to, well, spill some tea. Spill some tea with the one, the only, the Wild Wolf. The Wild Wolf himself. That's right, guys. The Wild Wolf. I like to call him, aka the Loyal Wolf. Here to spill some tea with your girl, yours truly, Alicia G, on Spill Tea with Alicia G, and that one special guest we interview each and every single week. Question who it is? I'll tell you who it is. It's the one. It's the own Wolf himself. Wild Wolf, how are you?
Doing good, doing good.
Good, great to hear, great to hear. Guys, everyone showing that love. Be sure you're following, liking, sharing, tapping on that screen. We want good vibes, happy cheeks, and spill some tea while we're at it. We want to tell everyone your social media and where and how to find you and follow you.
I'm pretty much everywhere as Loyal Wolf 69. You can find me just about anywhere socially that way. So.
Follow the wolf, y'all. Follow the wolf. Thank you for joining me this evening. How are you doing, the Wild, aka Loyal Wolf?
Real good, real good. It's been a good day. So,
wonderful.
A few things that come.
Guys, never try to love, appreciate it, guys. You're following, liking, sharing, tapping that screen, good vibes, happy cheeks, and all the above. That's how we do it. So Wolf here has been a little feature on Spill the Tea for quite some time. Quite a few episodes we've had. Some wild ones indeed.
Up to you.
He got his name Wild Wolf for a reason. Last we had an episode, he was actually supposed to have open heart surgery, and how he has had it. He's totally recovered, and we're going to hear all about everything after the surgery and everything he went through and how he's the Wild Wolf again.
Oh, yes. Yeah. Definitely. But yeah, it's been a hard goal. I mean, there's been a lot of things that have happened recently. So it's been an interesting go of everything I've gone through. Some people know, some people don't. But, I mean, started at age 29 with my first open heart surgery. Then, since then, I've had 6 strokes, had to relearn to walk first 5 times. Last time I didn't have to. I have a seizure disorder that's been under control since 2010, but that has, it's both epileptic and silent seizures. I mean, I'll go right into where I'll be looking just like this, but I won't say anything or anything. I won't hear anything you're saying or anything. So it looks like I'm sleeping with my eyes open. So yeah, so that's been some of the major things. And then December 4th, I had my open heart surgery, as many know, but some don't. And it's been real interesting. I mean, one thing after another has been, for sure. Going in on June 10th for a 4 to 5 day stay. They're gonna put me into seizures, trying to see if they can fix some stuff that's up in there. So I'll have these wires all over my head.
You are a true survivor, a true miracle. You really, really are.
Absolutely. Yeah. You know, and everybody knows me as like the wild Jersey guy, the guy that just, doesn't really, sit back, and I hide a lot of things. One thing that I will bring to everybody's attention, because I've been struggling with it a little bit lately, is I am a very depressed person, and you would never know it from the way I act. and I struggled with it last year for about 3 months. But every now and then it does kick in. I mean, it's been bad. High school years, I was very, 4 times. If a person, one of my best friends at the time, he knew me well enough to know that, hey, something's going on. And he actually got me to the emergency room 3 of the times, and the 4th time he actually saved me before I jumped into the rocks up here off of a house. So, yeah, I may be all fun and games and all that, but there is a dark side of me that, I'm really good at mashing. So it's just one of those things. And I'll tell you what, though, I enjoy life, and the more I have going on, and that's part of the reason why you see me always doing something or working or doing everything. Keeps my mind
Production is the basis of morale.
Negative,
keep going and doing, and
so,
keep going.
Yeah. So. Right. So, and that's part of the reason why I am always going. That way I don't
keep going, keep
side.
looking at the future, and start shining bright, and the best yet to come. Just believe and never, ever, ever give up. And Wolf never, ever, ever gives up. That's one thing we know about our wild wolf. He's a survivor, our wild, loyal, naughty wild wolf. That he is.
I always do figure out a way to get around it. I mean, if it wasn't for friends, family, and my kids, I wouldn't have made it through this last year. So, no, and I consider the
we stick
Army
together. We're
friends,
family, guys. We're family, and we stick together and rise above. And the best yet to come. Just believe, and we never ever give up. And we stick together, guys. We are the Army. We are the troops. Wow. But now, one thing I remember you saying when you're in the hospital, the naughty wolf came out a little bit with the nurses. Maybe want to maybe spill some of that tea. That's what we're here for, and turn that frowns upside down.
I got a few phone numbers from a few nurses.
That's what we're here for. Spill that tea. Spill that tea. Aww. Guys who are just joining, follow, like, share, tap on that screen. They had me so drugged up that it was kind of crazy. I would never ask for painkillers, but they'd see tears in my eyes and all that, and they were giving me painkillers about every 3 hours, where they're supposed to give me every 4 hours, because they just see the pain in me. I hate painkillers, but yeah, obviously I needed them. And they gave me a bunch of medicine, and there was one medicine I didn't recognize. They were trying to tell me it was one medicine. I said, no, it's not. And they had put it in the pudding to try to sneak it in. And I seen it, and I threw it at the nurse. I threw it at the nurse. When you say throw, you actually threw the pudding? Or just
I'm going to take that. So, I threw it. I threw the whole thing of pudding around and everything.
We got a wild one.
So, I do have. I've had a few times. Like I said, I got the things with the nurses. Day 10, they told me that I was going to stay another 20 to 30 days. And I said, the heck I am. And I took everything off. I took the catheter and everything out. I did everything on my own. And started to get dressed. And I ended up waking up in a hospital bed, tied down for 3 days. So they weren't gonna let me. They weren't gonna let me get away with that one.
You have little mittens on your hands.
the way it is and the way. Oh, they had mittens on it. They had mittens and everything. Yeah. So, yeah, I wasn't able to undo nothing. That's and I lost all control of my arms. So they got me tied down, and my arms started doing crazy stuff that you would never see them do. It's like, I mean, yes, your muscles will. I mean, your muscles are actually twisted around your bones to keep them going, and my muscles would actually end up relaxing so much that my arms at the elbow would actually twist all the way around like 3-4 times, and then they would swing back around the other way.
Help me!
So
Help me!
it's kind of crazy. So.
Oh my gosh.
So. And then they did my paperwork wrong, and they said they had it. I was supposed to be everyone could get a hold of me, and they had it. Nobody could get a hold of me. I got locked out of my phones because I put the password in wrong too many times, so I couldn't get out to anyone. Yeah. So, with 4 days left, they said that I was going to be staying anywhere from 90 days to 6 months longer. My ex-fiance actually, because she is still like my caregiver on paperwork and all that, was able to get into the hospital, was able to see me. She got me back thinking properly, and I was out 3 days later. My daughter, because she is a senior, she was able to come up and visit me. She came and visited me the last 2 days. She came up there that I was in the hospital. So that was amazing. My daughter and I kind of lost contact. This is my older daughter. And we had lost contact. We had some fallout, and now we're like best of friends again. And yeah, so it's been good. And now we've done the paperwork so that if like anything happens or all that, she speaks for me. So it's kind of nice to have that. My son, who's like a year older than her, is kind of mad. It's like, why and I? Because it's like, well, because the fact is she's not responsible. He doesn't. It takes 3 days to get a hold of him to get him to do something. So, yeah. But my daughter, it's like you don't even get the first word out, and she's on her way out. So it's kind of nice. So, yeah. But yeah, I did stay very flirtatious.
You didn't like try grabbing a nurse or anything like that, did you? Just asking. Okay, there's a baby, folks. There's a baby.
Maybe a couple.
Did a nurse ever sit on your bed, perhaps? Was there a nurse on the bed, maybe?
I had two of them that would come and just sit on the side of the bed and talk to me and tell me what a great job I did, and like they're like, we've never seen anyone so positive and so much pain still stay positive and everything. It's like I said, when they tried to give me something and tell me that it was something else. Oh, after once I threw the pudding to them, I go, tell you what, go get me the medical books that you have to have of all the medicines you're here, and you show me which one that is, and I'll verify it is, and I'll read it, and I'll decide if I'm going to take it or not. And when I got done, it was for hallucinating. And I go, if you would have just told me it was for the hallucinations that I'm having, I would have took it. But you're trying to tell me it's a different medicine for my seizures, and it's not. So I said, I know what they have to show you if you ask. So yeah, so they went and got the medical prescription books and everything, and brought them in.
You are truly a medical miracle survivor, warrior. Maybe Dr. Wolf, Dr. Naughty Wolf in there to add a new name to the, agenda. No.
Well, it, it's pretty bad because when I have to like do the heart test and all that for having things checked out and all that, I can actually read the monitors, and it's like I was able to tell where things are at. And it's like, yep, it's time, isn't it? So you know, when you have certain things and you start doing the studies and learn what's what and be able to pay attention, and so, but I'll still say to this day, I'd rather have open heart surgery again before I have another collapsed lung. I've had a collapsed lung twice, and I'll tell you what, that's the worst pain I've ever been in.
I remember you touched on hallucinations. Can you maybe spill the tea about your hallucinations? I know there's some pretty wild ones you were having there.
Okay, probably the biggest one that I had, and it lasted like, this is when I was tied, right? I mean, where I couldn't do anything, and I actually, for like 48-hour period, I went through a stage where I was actually going backwards in time, and it would stop at years, and then I came all the way back. I went all the way back to birth of Christ and came all the way back to today's date. But every time they would ask me what the date was, the date would always correspond with the date that I thought it was. So like one of the years was 110, for example. And they're like, well, you're way off. And then like the last 6 hours it took me to get my last 2 years back, because I kept on saying it was 21 instead of 23 at that time. So it was like, I mean, I had months and dates and everything. I mean, it just took a little bit, but then once I got back to normal, it was fine after that. But I looked back at when I got home. I looked up on like Google the dates that I remembered seeing, and there's always significant happenings during the year, like the rise of Rome, the fall of Rome. I mean, it was just all these different everything. Every date that I can remember was a date that had been a very significant era in our world. So it's just kind of crazy. And I was never good at history, so
maybe like past lives you were
like, how do I know this?
Maybe, who knows? Maybe like lives, possibly,
Very possible.
Very possible. Definitely.
Anything's possible.
Was that the wildest? Was that the most wild hallucination, or was there even more? How about?
That was pretty much the only real wild stuff that hallucinating, but I don't remember the other hallucinations that they started wanting to put me on the drugs on. So,
was there any good experiences, would you say, at the hospital? Like maybe some funny stories, actually, that you can laugh about now? Or
actually, this one was quite different than the first time I had open heart surgery. It took me until after I got, when they relieved from the straps. That last 3 days is when I actually was separated. Like I said, my ex-fiance said, you need to get home to your kids before Christmas and all that. And it's like, okay. And it's just like, I went from being able to walk maybe 100 yards at the most before I had to go sit down for hours. And I mean, I was only doing that like once a day, to where all of a sudden I was doing laps around the ward at the time. They said, okay, you've done enough, you can sit down now. So do that like 3 or 4 times a day. I mean, it was just a total reverse of how I was. And then, 2 days later, they're like, okay, we're releasing you. Got home 1 minute before Christmas from the hospital. And then I was able to start driving again on my birthday. So I kind of had the Christmas miracle and, Christmas gift, Christmas miracle, and, my birthday gift all.
Wolf is the AG
together,
Army Christmas miracle, without a doubt. He truly, truly is. I remember when we didn't hear. It was almost going on almost a month, y'all, and we're like, no one. Did you hear from him? Did you hear? Did you hear? We started calling all the local hospitals. One of my friends, the AG Army, started, hey, is this person there? We were all so worried about him. We're like, where's the wolf? Where's the wolf? But we found the wolf, and he was our Christmas miracle. He came home. That's all that matters.
I'll tell you what, when, they wonder why I went crazy and started getting the way I got, when I'm a person that's very talkative, very out there, very helping people and everything else like that all of a sudden I'm like sitting there like twiddling my thumbs because I locked myself out of my phones, and then I couldn't get phone calls because they had me wrong, and I kept on trying to get them to change it, and they kept on saying they would change it, and they never did because I was on medication.
You're following, liking, sharing, tapping on that screen, guys. If you haven't already, we're spilling some tea with the one, the only, the wild wolf himself. That's right, guys, the wild wolf himself. Hope we're having a wonderful day. We're learning about all the stuff he's went through from his journey from open heart surgery, and he truly is a walking, talking miracle. He really is. He's a walking, talking miracle. The wild wolf is. That is for sure.
That's, like I said, and that's probably part of the reason that I've always been kind of like on the crazy side, because I've always lived my life. Well, I've always worked hard, and I've always played harder. So, and a lot of people know I've worked many, many hours. So,
definitely. Now that you're pretty much almost healed, any new goals you want to set for yourself after this huge journey that you overcame?
Not really at this moment. I mean, there's a few things that I'm working on in the background, and see where that goes still. Where, the porn star contract is still good. So.
Okay. The adult industry is still in the works, people. It's still in the works.
So we just have to see where things go. But one thing is it's kind of hard because you can actually on film hear my heart because it has the mechanical heart. So it's one of those things that they're trying to see if they can tap it out and figure out how they can screen it out. So that's the main thing right now that their main concern.
Yes, and if you're wondering what we're talking about here, yes, he actually is signed with adult industry entertainment contract. He is an adult film star, folks. He really is. And it's on a little hold right now, but you never know. You might see him on the big screen once again. You just never know.
Well, and it's kind of funny because, I'm probably the biggest center out there because of the fact is that I'm signed into that, but I'm also a minister. I've actually got all my stuff done I actually did it not so much to preach. I do some here and there still with that, but mainly I did it because one of my friends wanted to get married, and I said I wanted to marry him, so that's how it actually started out. So, because I've always thought about doing it, so I mean, and I've had a few good talks in a few rooms about the whole, ministry thing.
Have you married many people before, or
I've done one.
couples, you'd say? Or?
I did one so far, and that was before I went in for my surgery and all that. So.
The naughty minister, Wild Wolf, coming to the biscuit. The names, they keep growing. I know you're pretty big into diamond art. Do you want to fill us in on some new projects with diamond art, or explain what diamond art is for people who do not know what
diamond art has a ton of little beads. They go into like a little pin type thing that has a little sticky thing to them. And this is the one I'm working on right now. And
beautiful.
And the diamond art community is starting to come out there. So I actually did start a community that is, I have it listed as, for the diamond art. Anyone can join if you want. Figured eventually, I figured might as well get that community out there and be the first one to get it started, so that when people, start noticing it, they can start getting a place where everyone can go and show what they have done and all that, and get it out there. So I took that. So, and that's what my profile picture is all about too. I mean, you can click on the profile picture and it'll take you right to the community to be able to join. So, yeah.
So, how long is an average diamond art, would you say, takes you to do?
There's a lot of variables, but like the one I have right now and that I'm doing right now is like what was it, 18,000 diamonds on it. So 18 hours if I just stick on it. But a lot of times, like if I'm watching a room, I'll get a lot done at a time. If I'm actually broadcasting, I'll do a little bit here and there and talk and all that. So then it takes longer, but yeah. So yeah. So
Your eyes ever just like, ooh, like my eyes would be like pixelated or diamondated. I don't know.
Yesterday when I was trying to do it, it was a little bit difficult because my eyes were like glossed. Had too much water in them, gloss, so like stuff was kind of blurry. So, but we got that taken care of, and we're doing good. So.
What would you say your biggest diamond art project has been so far? How many hours would you say?
The biggest one? Let's see, that one was close to 1,000 hours.
1,000 hours. Oh my goodness.
That one had like 300,000 diamonds on it, though. It was a huge one. So.
You have patience. He has a lot of patience, folks. A ton of patience. He just may be a doctor yet. You just never know. Tons and tons of patience. I mean, I think I could do a little bit, but then I'd be like, I gotta do more stuff here. I got more stuff to do. I can't just do one thing. A little diamond, a little social media, a little this, a little that.
Well, my buddy, for the first time, came over to my house, and he was up here where I was, doing my diamond art and all that. And I was just sitting there, and he goes, "How in the hell do you have the patience to do that?" So.
Oh my gosh, right? That takes patience, like amazing, amazing patience. What originally got you into diamond art? Like,
actually, I seen one online, and it had a picture of a wolf, a dream catcher, and a tomahawk all in it. And it's like, okay, I'll try it. I ordered it, and I was like, oh, am I going to do this or not? And then all of a sudden I was like, oh, might as well. And then I did it, and it's like, you know what? I found it calming for me. So yeah. So.
Oh my gosh. You have a lot of patience. And how many diamond art projects would you say you have done total? Complete, start to finish?
Okay,
About.
we're at, and I'm just trying to, we're close to, in another 2 months, I'll have 2 years of doing diamond art. And I'm close to running to almost 50, 55, somewhere between 50 and 55 diamond art done. So, but like this one's,
Where do you
this one's a small one.
them all?
The ones that, the size that I like to do is like around 40,000 diamonds on them. And that one I have found out that, you know, that has good pixels in it, so you see more details in it, but not too much. So that.
How many inches would that be? Like 12 by 12 would that be?
Okay, this one is like the smallest that I like to go to, and this one is like what was it? It's like 15 by 20. If you go by inches, it's close to around 15 by 24, somewhere in there.
That's a good size. That's a real good size.
Well, I got that one that was like almost 3 foot wide and almost. Actually, it was almost 4 foot wide. It was like 3.5 foot wide, and it was like just over 8 foot long. The largest one. So.
Holy diamonds! We do love diamonds here, only on BIGO. That's for sure. But that's awesome. Congratulations, and keep healing and keep diamond arting, and the sky's the limits. That's so cool. So we talked about the diamond art, your road to recovery, which you're doing amazing. Maybe we can do some never have I ever questions. Should that be something maybe we could do? Spice it up, maybe? I don't know.
We'll see if we'll see if anything on the list I haven't done.
If there is anything here, I'm just glancing it over. I don't know about this, but we can try, right?
Go for it.
All right. Whew. Have you ever gone out with multiple dates on the same day?
Intentionally, no, but I have gone on.
Here we go, folks. Spill that tea.
Actually, I had one incident where I was dating a girl, and she started crying over my best friend, saying that she wished she could be with him. And I said, and then one of her friends I never met before came along, and we got talking. It's like, I'm going home with her, and I'll hook you up with him, and left. So,
2 birds, 1 stone, I guess, right? All right. How about never have I ever gone on a blind date? Have you ever gone on a blind date?
one. And it ended up being a 6 months relationship.
Oh, okay. It's a good blind date. Have you ever creeped on an ex's social media?
No. If I go to an ex's social media, I talk to them directly, so it's never been a creep.
Right.
I'm gonna say there's only like 2 exes in my life that I still don't talk to, so I have a good relationship with my exes.
Gotcha. All right. How about This is even silly to ask. Have you ever been hungover? I'm sure that's a yes.
Actually, I've been majorly drunk, majorly everything, but I've never had any side effects from it. I've always remembered everything
Really?
I've done, even when I passed out. I've always remembered everything I've done. Closest that it is, you know, a wild night with multiple ladies, and I knew I had sex. I remember sex, but I didn't remember who all I had sex with. So that'd be about it's about the worst that I've had.
You guys spill the tea. But never no headache, nothing.
No.
Threw up, nothing.
Nope.
Really? I can't
Okay,
say I have not had.
I have been drunk enough that I've thrown up, but no,
Oh,
nothing afterwards. But and
that's
the
good.
time that I did that was the time I went to the bar, and I don't know, I was in a weird mood. I don't know why, and there's like 50 people there, and I ended up going. I was pretty drunk at the time already, and I go, okay. I ended up going to every person in the bar and said, whatever you're drinking, I'll drink one with you. I'll pay for both of ours, but so there was like, yeah, I've had shots of, that night was shots of a lot of things. Jeremiah weed was probably the one that got me, because we had like 10 of those throughout the night. So.
Oh my gosh. You call Wild Wolf for a reason, folks. Wild Wolf, spill that tea and spill the tea. Guys, smash that subscribe button if you haven't. Follow, like, share, follow, and show that love, guys. Show that love. And share the broadcast, guys. Tell your friends. I spill the tea with a Wild Wolf. Alright, this is. Have you ever ghosted someone?
No, never had. I've only had one relationship that I split up, that I left, and that was the one that I told you about. Other than that, they've always left me. And then probably the one thing that a lot of people say, why did they leave? Or a lot of them ended up cheating on me and going to do things, but. And I blame myself for it, because I was always working, I was never home and all that, and so the companionship that they got. So everyone's like, why do you always blame yourself for everything? I go, that's because the fact is I know what happened. I go, I mean, it doesn't make it right. It doesn't mean that they were right in the right either. I mean, so, yeah. But I'll own up to things. As a lot of you know, I'll try to get everyone to instigate to do something, and that's like, yeah, that was me that did that. I got them to do it.
Oh, this one is a silly one, but I'm sure this is a yes. Have you ever gone skinny dipping?
Oh, multiple times.
I'll spill the tea. Tell us a story.
Okay, well, there's
two
of them that I guess it was the night that me and my buddies decided to go to like 6 or 7 different ladies' houses and hit their pool, and said, let's get in. So we knew they were having their little lady party, so yeah, had to get that instigated. And the other time is we had a place that we used to call Hawaii in my hometown, where they excavated the land and all that, and they had digging out for rocks for doing the roads, and cutting everything up. So the rain ended up in a big hole where we would actually have a 250 yard clip that we used to dive into the hole, into the lake. So yeah, the first time that there was about 30 of us that went there, guys and ladies, and it's like we found the water hole, and we all decided that we're just gonna get naked and have a fun time. So then it got dark, and I decided that I was gonna get on the excavator and started up and started running around. Everyone was running to their cars, thinking that the owners of the property had gotten there. So.
Oh my gosh. Folks, that's why we call him the Wild Wolf for a reason. The Wild Wolf in the house. Oh my goodness. All right. How about, have you ever gotten a speeding ticket? I'm going to say yes. My bet is.
I've had 69 of them, and I've never paid to a single one. I've always won them all in court. Judge threw them all out.
How much over the limit were you?
The worst one was 118 miles per hour in a 55.
What were you thinking?
Oh, but that one got interesting because that ended up into a high-speed chase. It took over 30 cops, 3 counties to catch me, and I still won it in court. Got the ticket thrown out.
Why would you? Why? Just why? Wolf, tell us why. Spill that tea. Why?
Because I could.
But weren't there like other cars like in the way, like swerving in between? Or
I've always been a very good driver. I mean, the high-speed chase, we ended up on dirt roads doing over 118 miles per hour on dirt roads. So, like I said,
bless you, Wild Wolf.
like I said, I'm lucky to be around with some of the stuff I've done. But, I mean, it started out as a vehicle turned around and started coming, and I was doing like 80 miles per hour at that time. And it's like, I do not know what I should do here. I didn't want to pull over because there was some bad situations that had gotten left behind when I moved from hometown. And I was getting close to hometown, and he took off after me, and that's how I got into the high-speed chase. And then once I realized that it was an off-duty officer that was following me, and I was like, okay, I already got the cops on me, so let's have fun with it. So.
Oh my gosh. You're wild, you're brave. Oh. All right. Have you ever dined and dashed?
Yes.
Yes.
It was not intentional. Well, it was intentional, but it wasn't originally intended. It was one of these things we went to after night clubbing all night at 2:30 in the morning. We ended up at restaurant that was open all night, and that night I had like I'm gonna say, I think it was 13 people or 14 people with me. I was gonna pay for the whole thing, and it ended up being like close to $800 the bill, and I was gonna pay for it, but I kept on trying to get the waitress to bring me to the bill so I could go pay it, and she didn't. Went up to the register, sat for about 15 minutes, and I just said, they never came up to the register, so we just all left. So, I mean, you
What
think,
were you?
oh, we had all kinds of stuff. I mean, it was anything. I mean, it was a fancy restaurant that had everything. So, I mean, you had breakfast, people had, you were able to have steaks, everything. So, but that was the night that we were at the club to start with, and seen, oh, this lady was hotter and shit. Anyways, I go up to her and I go, I go up to her and I go, and the guy said, there's no way you'll do it. And I said, yep, I am. And I went up to her and I go, I want to eat your pussy until I come. And I'm thinking, okay, I get slapped. But all she did, she looked at me and she said, thanks for the compliment. So then we go into a whole nother area, and we're leaving, and the guys kept on saying, no, you didn't say it. And then, but I said, all she did is said, thanks for the compliment. And then when we left, she was leaving, and she goes, they ask him, what do you say? And she goes, that's between me and him. And all I can tell you is I took it as a compliment. And then at the restaurant that we went to, her and her boyfriend, who wasn't with her, showed up at the restaurant. And I'm glad that she kind of said it that way and took off instead of me meeting her boyfriend in another situation, because he probably benched, I'd say he probably benched somewhere between 500 and 700 pounds easy. I mean, he was huge. I mean, his arms were the size of me, so.
Yeah, good thing. Keep it moving. Oh my gosh. This is what Spill the Tea is made for those shocking moments, just like y'all has witnessed here live on Spill the Tea with Alicia G on FM TV Season 3, y'all. Oh my goodness. So, what is your adult film star name? Give us some hints. Can you give us some hints, maybe?
Not yet, until I know it's actually going to go through, everything's going to go through yet. So.
Okay. The ones you were thinking of, if not those, what would it be? How about that? The ones you have in mind on the paper, the ones that would not be. That makes sense.
And there wasn't really anything there, so it was just. So. I can say it has to do with Beastly. So.
Giving us some hints, folks. Giving some hints.
So that's as far as I'll go with it at this point. So.
All right. Well, you definitely did a fantastic job spilling some tea here. I don't know what more to ask you. To quite frank, I don't know what to ask you. To be quite honest, you dropped the cup multiple times here. Yeah. Well, I'm a foodie. Spill the tea. What's been one of your favorite foodie times lately?
I'll go into one other thing here real quick. So, if you guys all know me pretty well, I mean, the Army at least. If you see me have like the biggest smile that you've ever seen, and I'm really, really giggly without nothing to be giggling about, there's something wrong, and that's a good time to say, hey, what's up? So that's when I'm in my, suicidal mode, I guess is what you'd say, where I'm in that real deep depression. So if you ever see that, real giggly and why is he giggly about everything? I mean, even stuff that shouldn't be giggly, he's giggly about. There's something, hey, are you alright? Okay. I figured, like I said, we've done 3 crazy ones. I figured, we'll start today and, get that out there. Something that, do some of the serious stuff, the health issues, and, there's a lot of people, again, when I find somebody that has depression and talk about it and want to talk about it and all that, I do really good at, helping them through things. So it is one of those things that is out there. When I was 12 years old, I had a guy take advantage of me. It has affected me as, certain ends of the spectrum, but I've come out of it quite a bit thanks to the boys as you would say. I go over there and I was joking around with them quite a few times, and I actually it was one time we're sitting there joking around about stuff, and they were saying stuff, and it just led into perfect sayings. I just kind of said, and after the third one, I go, "It's pretty bad when the straight one's the one that's hitting on you guys." And then about 3 weeks later, all of a sudden, Adam said something about, you know, he goes, "Oh, I'll fuck you all up in the ass." And I said, "I'm bent over, ready for you." And Papa goes, he goes, "Did we convert Wolf?" He goes, and I was like, "No, Wolf's just being Wolf." He just has fun. Exactly. So then the other day, I showed up and Fresh is in the room. Those two. I come in there. He goes, "You coming up?" And I go, "Yeah, but it's your turn to run over. I run over last time." Fresh like, "What?" No, I have never gone that way. I never plan on going that way, but I can have fun with it because I am secure with myself. So I don't have to worry about it. So, yeah.
I mean, we went from some silly, wild, over the top, fun spill the teas to some really serious talk today, and some little wild and crazy talk, shocker, spill the tea today as well. Um, I want to say thank you for sharing all that with you. I'm sure everyone enjoyed, because it was a definite shocker. This is, I think, record views, over 2,400 views we've had tonight consistently. I'm just overwhelmed and shocked. Thank you everyone for viewing. I'm sure you guys are following too. And record views, over 2,400 views. That's amazing. A record show. It's our fourth show. What's our fourth one?
This is our fourth one.
Our fourth one, guys. Our fourth show with the Wild Wolf himself.
And
Oh my gosh.
and I have been involved with a few, shows where people have been in abusive relationships and helped them out with that. And I've never hit a female in my life. I've been in 3 very abusive relationships. One of them, it actually was the neighbors that called the cops, and they wanted to haul me off because I was the guy, and she admitted that no, he's never laid a hand on me. It was all me. And it's like another one to get out of the relationship. I mean, it got so bad. I mean, I didn't know how to get out. I actually ended up, we were at her parents' house, and I knew she was going to have to stay there where I could get my stuff out of our house that we had together. And I actually, parents were gone, and I actually took a baseball bat and I go, "Okay, I'll bust every window in your house. I'll bust in your parents' house. I'll bust all the sliding doors out if you don't let me out." And so, and she,
The wolf was getting out when we were not. Well,
she had thrown me through a door that opened towards me. I went through it all the way down to the basement. So yeah, so it was a bad situation. So, and then the second abusive relationship, when I left that one, on the way out the door, I had cans and peanut butter jars and all that being thrown at me. So
you're a walking miracle. And bless you.
And it is very hard to get out of a relationship like that, because you start thinking they're going to change, and they say all the right things and all that. So if I see somebody's having a panel like that, I try to get involved, because I know how hard it is and how important it is to get away from it. So, and then the third abusive relationship that I had like that, the lady broke her ribs one time lunging at me when I went into a huddle, and when she lunged at me, she broke her ribs one time. And another time she came at me, was hitting me so hard she broke her arm. So yeah. So I've been through quite a bit. I've gone. So it hasn't always been always fun and games with Wolf, but Wolf has always been able to look at the positive side of everything. It's like, you've heard some of the stories where, like, like my worst incident was the day my house burnt down, and 3 hours later I got sideswiped and totaled the car, and both times it was like fire was out, nobody got hurt, right? The firefighters all good, all that. Okay, we're good. And that's what insurance is for. The car totaled. I looked at my kids and all that, and I said, "Everyone okay?" And they go, "Yeah." And I said, "Okay, everything's good. We'll go get a new car." So.
Wow, well, seriously, you are a walking, talking miracle, and he still stays positive throughout everything he's overcome and he's faced with. No matter what, he's a wild, positive, loyal.
And that's one thing there. I don't want anyone ever to feel bad about the bad stuff I've gone through and all that. I like to, it's one of those things that, with counseling when I was younger, that if you don't talk about it, you can't heal. So it's like one of those things that, I don't want anyone ever to feel bad about anything, because I wouldn't be who I am. I had Poon one time ask me if there was ever a time that I wish that something would change. And I said, no. I go, everything that I've gone through is what's made me. And if I went through it, I wouldn't be who I am. I wouldn't be so able to help the people where I can. I am, and all that. So everything I've gone through has been for a reason. Relationships. One thing that I say, everyone's going to have their friends. Some of them are going to be there their whole life. Some people are going to be there for a few months. Some people, it's all a matter of time. Always look at the friendships that you make, the ones that you lose and all that. Look at the positive side. What did I gain from that person? Because you can always find something you gained from a person. So when something, no matter how bad it gets, there is a positive side of everything. So.
Light at the end of the tunnel, and every person you meet, you learn something from, good, bad, or indifferent. You do learn something.
Right. And like I said, people are, and some of the people that are short-term people are people that come around at the right time, and they were meant to be in your life for that short period of time because you needed something that they were able to give you. So.
Guys, we have literally like 60 seconds left. I just want to say once again, Wolf, thank you for sharing and opening up to us a whole new side of the wild wolf we learned today. And keep doing you, keep being you, keep being amazing. And you truly are a walking, talking miracle and a blessing and a true friend to me and to everyone here at the AG Army. And a fantastic host, by the way, in my agency. It's our first episode of you being in my agency, being a host and a top host, which is very, very awesome. I can't thank you enough. And thank you for sharing.
And if anyone needs or has questions, be willing to come to me. I'm trying to take as much pressure off Alicia and let her do the big stuff, and I'll take care of the little stuff as much as possible. So I'm definitely, want to be there to support her.
On that note, boom, baby, on 3. 1, 2, 3.
Boom, boom, baby.